The morning sun shone through the large windows of the lab. Dr. Jung Kim looked up from his work and smiled at Hope. The black and white border collie wagged her tail and tilted her head. Unlike other dogs, Hope understood much more than simple commands. "What do you think of these results, girl?" June asked, showing her the screen. Hope barked once and placed her paw on a specific part of the data. June nodded with surprise. She had pointed to the exact anomaly he had been searching for. "You're right again. How do you keep doing that?" The year was 2157. Earth had changed. Wars had ended. Technology had advanced. And Dr. Jung Kim had become famous for his work with dogs. Not just any work, he had found a way to make dogs smarter. Not just smarter in the usual way. Hope and the other dogs in his program could feel human emotions better. They could almost read minds. June's phone buzzed. It was his friend and coworker, Dr. Hannah Lee. "June, turn on the news. Now." He clicked on the wall screen. The news showed a massive ship hanging in the sky above Earth. It was huge, bigger than any human ship ever built. "They came from nowhere," the reporter said. "The ship appeared just outside our moon's orbit 1 hour ago." Hope whined and pressed against June's leg. He put his hand on her head to calm her. "It's okay, girl. I'm sure it's—" The screen changed. A face appeared that made June step back. It wasn't human. It looked like a mix between a wolf and a jackal, sharp teeth, pointed ears, and yellow eyes filled with intelligence. "People of Earth," the creature said in perfect English, "I am Commander Krell of the Taraki Empire. We have watched your world for some time. We come with an offer of protection and alliance." June felt a chill. The words sounded nice, but the eyes of the alien showed something else. 3 days later, June sat in a large meeting room at the United Council building. Hope lay at his feet. Across the table sat Sue Park, Earth's top diplomat. She looked tired. "They call themselves the Taraki," Sue explained to the room. "They evolved from jackal-like animals on their home world. For thousands of years, they have been changing their own bodies, making themselves stronger, faster, and smarter." "Genetic engineering?" June asked. "Yes, they're very proud of it. They think it makes them better than us." The door opened. 2 Taraki warriors walked in, followed by Commander Krell. Up close, they were even more impressive. Tall, muscular, with movements that reminded June of predators. Hope growled softly. "Silence your pet," Krell said as he sat down. "Or remove it." "Hope is not just a pet," June said. "She's part of my team." Krell's mouth formed what might have been a smile, but it looked more like he was about to bite someone. "How charming. You humans. And your emotional attachments." The meeting did not go well. The Taraki wanted land, large parts of Earth. They wanted resources. In return, they offered protection from other alien races that might not be as friendly as they were. "This is not a fair deal," Sue Park said firmly. "Fair?" Krell laughed. "Why should it be fair? You are the weaker species. We could take what we want." "Then why don't you?" June asked. Krell looked at him with those yellow eyes. "We prefer cooperation. It is less messy. You have 1 month to consider our generous offer." After the aliens left, Sue turned to the council members. "They have no interest in real cooperation. I've seen their kind before in human history. They want submission, not partnership." June felt Hope press against his leg again. When he looked down, he saw something in her eyes he had never seen before. It wasn't fear. It was understanding. "What do we do?" someone asked. Sue looked at each person in the room. "We prepare. They will be back. And I don't think they'll take no for an answer." As they walked back to his lab, June thought about the Taraki. They had made themselves into perfect predators through science, but they had missed something important. Something humans had learned long ago when they first made friends with wolves. Sometimes, the greatest strength comes not from changing yourself, but from the bonds you form with others. Hope seemed to sense his thoughts. She looked up at him and wagged her tail. "Yes, girl," he whispered. "They might have engineered themselves into perfect jackals, but we gave our companions something better. We gave them hope." 3 months passed. The talks with the Cherokee went nowhere. Sue Park tried her best, but the aliens would not change their demands. They wanted Earth's land and resources. Nothing less would do. Dr. Jum Kim worked day and night in his lab. He knew something bad was coming. Hope stayed by his side, watching him with wise eyes. "I don't know if what we're doing will help," he told her one night, "but we have to try." That morning, the Cherokee ship moved. It had been sitting above Earth for months, not doing much. Now it went to the small base humans had built on the moon. June watched on the news with Dr. Hannah Lee. Hope sat between them, her ears alert. "What are they doing?" Hannah asked. They soon found out. A bright flash lit up the screen. When it faded, the moon base was gone. Just like that. Hundreds of people had been there. "No," June whispered. "Please, no." The screen changed. Commander Krill's face appeared, his yellow eyes cold. "People of Earth, your time for talking is over. We have shown you a small part of our power. You have 7 days to accept our terms. If you do not, we will take what we want." The room was silent when the screen went dark. Hope whined and put her head on June's knee. "They killed all those people," Hannah said, her voice shaking, "just to make a point." June's phone rang. It was Sue Park. "June, the council needs you. Now." 2 hours later, June, Hannah, and Hope sat in a secret room deep under the United Council building. Around a large table sat 12 people, including Sue Park and Colonel Jin Ta, head of Earth's defense forces. "Our weapons are no match for theirs," Colonel Jin said. "They can destroy us from space if they want to." "Then why haven't they?" someone asked. "They want our planet intact," Sue explained. "They want our resources, not a ruined world." "What do we do?" another council member asked. "We can't give them what they want. They'll make us slaves." Colonel Jin looked at June. "That's why Dr. Kim is here. Tell them about your project, Doctor." All eyes turned to June. He stood up slowly, with Hope at his side. "For 15 years, I've been working on what we call the Hope Protocol. Most people think I just make dogs smarter, but it's much more than that." He touched Hope's head gently. "The Hope Protocol creates a special link between a human and a dog. It lets them share thoughts and feelings. Not just simple commands, but real communication." "Like mind reading?" someone asked. "Not exactly. It's more like feeling what the other feels, knowing what the other knows." Hannah stood up next to him. "We've tested it with 20 dog-human pairs so far. The results are amazing. They can work together in ways that seem impossible." Colonel Jin nodded. "I've seen the tests. A human-dog team with the Hope Protocol can outthink and outfight any single enemy. They move like one mind in 2 bodies." Sue Park looked doubtful. "And you think this can help us against the Cherokee? They've been making themselves into perfect warriors for thousands of years." "That's just it," June said. "They've made themselves stronger and faster, yes, but they've lost something in the process." "What's that?" Sue asked. "Empathy. Connection. The ability to truly work together. They've become perfect alone, but weaker together." Hope barked once, as if agreeing. "The Cherokee mock us for keeping dogs," Jim continued. "Commander Krill called Hope a pet. They see our bond with dogs as a weakness." "But it's our strength," Hannah added. "Humans survived in ancient times not because we were the strongest, but because we could work together. With each other, and with other species like wolves." Colonel Jin stood up. "I propose we create a special force, humans and dogs using the Hope Protocol. It's our best chance." "How many enhanced dogs do you have ready?" Sue asked. "Only about 30, June answered. "The process takes months." "We have 7 days," Colonel Jin reminded them. The room fell silent again. Then Supark spoke. I might be able to buy us more time. The Tereki are proud. Too proud. I can use that. She looked at each person in the room, her face serious but determined. While I keep them talking, you prepare your dog-human teams. Dr. Kim. It's a long shot, but right now, hope is all we have. June nodded and looked down at Hope. Her warm eyes seemed to say, sometimes hope is enough. The next day, June took Hannah to his real lab. It was hidden deep underground, far from his public research center. Even Hannah, his closest friend, had never seen it before. I've kept this secret for years, June explained as they walked down a long hallway. Only 5 people in the world know about it. Hope trotted ahead of them, leading the way. At the end of the hall was a large metal door. June pressed his hand to a scanner, and the door opened with a soft hiss. Hannah gasped. Inside was a huge room filled with equipment, but what surprised her most were the dogs, at least 30 of them, all different breeds. Some were playing, others were resting, and a few were working with people at computer stations. Welcome to the Real Hope Protocol, Jun said. A tall man with a friendly face walked over to them. Next to him was a large German shepherd. Hannah, this is Ta. He was my first test subject, along with his partner, Max. Ta smiled and nodded. The dog, Max, looked at Hope and wagged his tail. Show her, Jun said to Ta. Ta closed his eyes. Max sat perfectly still. Then, without a word or signal, Max walked to a computer across the room, pressed a specific key with his paw, then brought back a small tool that had been sitting next to the keyboard. He didn't give any command, Hannah said, amazed. That's the point, June explained. The Hope Protocol creates a neural link. They share thoughts. Not complete thoughts like words, but images, feelings, intentions. Hannah watched as other human-dog pairs demonstrated similar abilities. One woman solved a complex puzzle with her border collie, neither speaking a word. A young man and his Labrador retriever moved through an obstacle course in perfect sync, anticipating each other's movements. This is incredible, Hannah said. But how does this help us fight the Tereki? June led her to another room. Inside were screens showing combat simulations. The Tereki have made themselves perfect individual warriors, he explained. They're stronger, faster, and more aggressive than humans, but they fight alone. On one screen, a human soldier and the red dust of Mars swirled around the old mining facility. 6 small ships landed nearby. From 3 of them came the human dog teams. From the other 3 came the Tereki warriors. Day stepped out with Luna at his side. The thin air of Mars was breathable thanks to the terraforming work done years ago, but it still felt strange. Luna pressed against his leg, sensing his discomfort. It's okay, girl, he said quietly. We trained for this. Through their bond, he felt her confidence flowing into him. They were ready. The other human dog teams joined them. Ta with Max, the German shepherd, Min with his Doberman, Star, and 3 other pairs. Dr. Kim came too, with Hope at his side. Colonel Jin and Supark would watch from a safe distance. Then the Tereki appeared. Da had seen them on screens, but in person they were even more impressive. Tall, muscular bodies covered in short gray-brown fur. Sharp teeth, yellow eyes that seemed to glow. They moved with the grace of natural predators. Commander Krell led them. He looked at the dogs with disgust. You bring pets to a battle, he asked, his voice mocking. Partners, Dad corrected. Krell laughed. 6 of our Jackal elite against 6 humans, and their partners. This will be quick. A platform rose from the ground. On it sat representatives from 3 other alien races, neutral witnesses to the contest. Supark stepped forward. The rules are simple. No weapons. No killing. The goal is to incapacitate your opponents. The first team to defeat all members of the other side wins. Krell nodded. Agreed. Though we will try not to hurt your pets too badly. The teams moved to opposite sides of the old mining facility. It was a perfect battleground. Tunnels, open spaces, places to hide, places to trap. Remember your training, Colonel Jin told them. Use the bond. Work together. A loud sound signaled the start of the contest. The Terraki moved fast, spreading out to hunt the humans. Day and Luna went to the left tunnel, their minds linked, sharing what they saw and heard. Luna could smell the Terraki, even from a distance. Da knew exactly where she was without looking. They found the first Jackal elite near an old drill. It was bigger than the others, with scars on its face. It grinned when it saw them. A human and a dog, it said in a deep voice. This is what Earth sends against us. It charged at Day, moving incredibly fast. But Day and Luna were ready. Luna darted between the Terraki's legs while Day stepped aside. The Terraki stumbled, surprised by the coordinated move. Before it could recover, Luna was at its back, and Day attacked from the front. The Terraki was strong, but it couldn't watch both of them at once. When it turned to strike Luna, Day hit it from behind. When it turned back, Luna was there. Working together, they tired it out. Finally, Day managed to get the Terraki in a hold while Luna kept it from breaking free. The Terraki warrior slumped in defeat. In other parts of the facility, similar battles were happening. The Terraki were stronger and faster, but they fought alone. The human dog teams fought as one, with 4 eyes, 4 legs, and 2 minds working together. Tai and Max defeated their opponent by tricking it into a trap. Min and Star used the tunnels to confuse and exhaust their Terraki. Soon, 5 of the 6 Terraki had been defeated. The humans had lost only 1 team. Commander Krell watched in growing anger. This was not how it was supposed to go. His warriors were the best in the galaxy. How could they lose to humans and their animals? The last battle was between Jun with Hope and Krell himself. They faced each other in the central area. Your tricks won't work on me, Krell growled. They're not tricks, Jun said. They're teamwork. The fight was fierce. Krell was the strongest, smartest Terraki. He had engineered himself to perfection over many years. He nearly beat them. But in the end, Hope's speed and Jun's strategy proved too much. As Krell fell to the ground, defeated, he lashed out one last time. His claws caught Hope in the side. The dog yelped in pain and collapsed. Jun cried out and rushed to her. Hope, no. Blood soaked the red dust. Jun looked up at Krell with tears in his eyes. The contest is over, he said, his voice shaking. We won. Krell got to his feet, his yellow eyes burning with hatred. This changes nothing, he snarled. You got lucky. In a real war, you will all die. As the Terraki left, Dai and Luna came to Jun's side. Hope was breathing, but badly hurt. We need to get her back to Earth, Jun said, cradling her gently. Luna whined and touched her nose to Hope's fur. Will she be okay? Dai asked. Jun looked down at his friend, his partner. She has to be, he whispered. She just has to be. The medical lab was quiet except for the soft beeping of machines. Hope lay on a table, connected to tubes and wires. Jun sat beside her, his face tired from 3 days without sleep. Hana entered with 2 cups of coffee. She handed one to Jun. You need to rest, she said gently. I can't, Jun replied. Not while she's like this. Hope's breathing was steady but weak. The wound from Krell's claws had been deep, and some kind of poison had entered her system. The doctors had done their best, but Hope wasn't getting better. There must be something else we can try, Jun said, more to himself than to Hana. Hana looked at the screens showing Hope's brain activity. Suddenly, she had an idea. The neural link, she said. You share thoughts with Hope, right? What if you could share healing? Jun looked up, his eyes wide. What do you mean? Your brain tells your body how to heal itself. What if you could share those signals with Hope through your bond? Before they could discuss this further, Colonel Jin burst into the room. The Terraki have attacked our colonies on Europa and Ganymede, he said, his voice urgent. They've started a full war. The news wasn't surprising, but it still hit hard. The Terraki had lost the contest on Mars. Their pride was hurt. Now they wanted revenge. How bad is it? June asked. Bad. They destroyed the main colony buildings. Hundreds dead. Thousands homeless. June looked at Hope, then back at the colonel. Our teams, already deployed, Dai and Luna are leading the defense on Titan. On Titan, Saturn's largest moon, Dai and Luna moved through the smoke of a burning building. 3 Terraki warriors had cornered a group of human colonists. Through their bond, Dai and Luna made a quick plan. Luna barked loudly, drawing the attention of the Terraki. When they turned, Dai attacked from behind, taking down one warrior. Luna leaped at another, her enhanced strength and speed matching the aliens. Together, they fought fiercely, protecting the scared colonists. All across the solar system, similar battles were happening. The human-dog teams were effective, but there weren't enough of them. The Terraki had thousands of warriors. Back on Earth, Sue Park met with the United Council. The Terraki are targeting our breeding facilities, she explained. They know about the dogs now. They understand the threat. Can we defend them? A council member asked. Colonel Jin has assigned teams to each facility, but it's not enough. In the medical lab, Jun prepared to try Hana's idea. He sat next to Hope, placed his hands on her head, and closed his eyes. Through their bond, he could feel her pain, her struggle to heal. I'm here, girl, he whispered. We can do this together. He focused on healing thoughts, imagining her body repairing itself, fighting the poison. He pictured their bond as a bright light, flowing from his mind to hers. Hours passed. June didn't move. Sweat covered his face as he poured all his energy into Hope. Finally, one of the machines beeped differently. Hope's vital signs were improving. Her brain activity increased. It's working, Hana said, amazed. The poison levels are dropping. Hope's eyes opened. She looked at June and weakly wagged her tail. Welcome back, partner, Jum said, tears in his eyes. That evening, Colonel Jin visited June in the lab. How is she? He asked, looking at Hope, who was now sitting up and eating. Getting stronger every hour, Jun said proudly. Good, because we need both of you. Colonel Jin showed June a map of the solar system. Red dots marked Terraki attacks. They're systematically targeting our weakest points. This isn't random. They studied us. What's their next target? June asked. We think it's this. Colonel Jin pointed to a small moon base. It's where we keep all the genetic samples for the Hope Protocol. June's face went pale. If they destroy that, no more enhanced dogs, no more teams. Hope growled softly, as if she understood the danger. How soon can she travel? Colonel Jin asked. June looked at Hope. Through their bond, he felt her determination, her willingness to fight despite her injury. We'll be ready tomorrow, Jun said. As they prepared for the coming battle, news arrived that shocked everyone. A Terraki ship had been seen landing at a remote human facility, but it wasn't attacking. Someone had let them in. Earth had a traitor. Dr. Kim stood in shock as he looked at the security videos. The images showed an older man with gray hair leading 3 Terraki warriors into the research facility on Europa. The man's face was clear on the screen. Dr. Kang, Jun whispered. But why? Dr. Kang had been Jun's teacher many years ago. He was a brilliant scientist who had helped Jun start his work with dogs. But they had disagreed about many things, and Dr. Kang had left Earth 5 years ago to work on Europa. He's giving them information about the Hope Protocol, Colonel Jin said, his voice hard with anger. The attack on our genetic storage facility wasn't random. Kang told them exactly where to hit us. Hope, still weak but standing, growled at the screen. She could feel Jun's pain and confusion through their bond. Sue Park entered the room with more bad news. The Taraki have created something new, something that disrupts the neural bond between humans and dogs. She showed them video from a battle on Titan. A human-dog team was fighting well until a Taraki fired a small device at them. Suddenly, the human looked confused, and the dog whined and ran in circles. They couldn't work together anymore. The Taraki quickly defeated them. How many of these devices do they have? Colonel Jin asked. We don't know, Sue admitted, but 3 more teams have been affected so far. June looked at the data from the affected teams. The device doesn't break the bond completely. It just blocks it temporarily. But that's enough in battle. And Dr. Kang helped them create it, Colonel Jin added. Dai and Luna were on a small ship heading to Mars when the order came to return to Earth. All human dog teams were being called back. Something's wrong, Dai told Luna as they changed course. Through their bond, he could feel her worry. When they arrived at the base, they found chaos. Some teams were back, but many were still fighting across the solar system. Reports of losses were coming in every hour. Dai found Dr. Kim in the lab, working frantically with Hana. Dr. Kim, what's happening? Dai asked. The Taraki have a device that blocks the neural bond, June explained quickly. We're trying to find a way to counter it. But how do they know how to make such a device? Dai asked. June's face was grim. We have a traitor. Dr. Kang, my old teacher. Why would he help them? We don't know for sure, but I have a guess. June showed Dai an old video of Dr. Kang giving a speech. In it, Kang talked about human evolution and how it had stopped. He believed humans needed to change, to become stronger through genetic engineering, like the Taraki. He thinks we're weak, Jum said. He thinks the Taraki are the future of intelligent life. A loud alarm interrupted them. The base was under attack. Dai and Luna ran to help defend it, joining other teams at the entrance. 5 Taraki ships landed outside. From them came not just warriors, but also strange floating devices. The bond blockers, Dai said to Luna. Stay close to me. The battle was fierce. The human-dog teams fought well at first, but when the devices activated, many lost their connection. Dai felt a strange buzzing in his head, and Luna whined in pain. Their bond flickered like a weak light. Dai could still feel Luna, but it was distant, unclear. They couldn't share thoughts properly. A large Taraki warrior charged at them. Dai tried to warn Luna, but she couldn't sense his thoughts. The Taraki hit Luna hard, sending her flying across the room. Luna, Dai shouted, running to her. She was alive but hurt. Dai carried her as he retreated with the other teams. The base was lost. Back at the secondary base, Jun treated Luna's injuries. She'll be okay, he told Dai. But the bond may take time to recover. Colonel Jin called an emergency meeting. We've lost 4 bases. Over half our teams are either captured or unable to fight because of the bond blockers. What do we do now? Someone asked. Before anyone could answer, the door opened. Dr. Kang walked in, flanked by 2 Taraki warriors. Hello, June, he said with a sad smile. I'm sorry it has come to this. Traitor, Colonel Jin shouted, reaching for his weapon. Don't, Kang warned. There are 50 Taraki warriors surrounding this base. You've lost. June stepped forward, hope limping at his side. Why, teacher? Why betray your own species? Kang looked at him with pity. Because they are the future, June. Strong. Evolved. We could learn from them. Become like them. Become killers, you mean, Jun said. Become survivors, Kang corrected. The galaxy is harsh. Only the strong live. Hope growled softly. Through their weakened bond, Jun felt something new from her. Not fear or anger, but determination. And an idea. The room was tense as Dr. Kang explained the Taraki's terms. Earth would surrender. Humans would become servants. Some would be allowed to live normally if they agreed to genetic changes, to become more like the Taraki. "You're asking us to stop being human," Sue Park said, her voice steady despite her anger. "I'm asking you to evolve," Dr. Kang replied, "to become stronger." While they talked, June focused on the weak bond he still had with Hope. She was trying to tell him something important. He closed his eyes, shutting out the voices around him. In a corner of the room, Hannah was watching Hope carefully. The dog was sitting very still, her eyes fixed on June. Something strange was happening between them. Suddenly, Hannah understood. She had been studying the data from the teams affected by the bond blockers. The devices didn't break the natural bond between human and dog, only the artificial neural pathways created by the Hope protocol. But there was another bond, older and deeper. A bond built on trust, love, and thousands of years of dogs and humans living together. That bond couldn't be blocked by any machine. She caught June's eye and nodded slightly. He understood too. "Dr. Kang," June said, standing up, "you've made a mistake." Kang looked at him with surprise. "What mistake?" "You think the Hope Protocol is about technology, about making artificial connections, but that's not the real source of our strength." As June spoke, Dai felt something warm in his mind. He looked at Luna, who was watching him intently. Their artificial bond was still disrupted, but he could feel something else, a simple emotion: trust. All around the room, the other human-dog pairs were experiencing the same thing. Not the clear thought-sharing they were used to, but something more basic and powerful. "The first wolves came to human fires thousands of years ago," June continued. "Not because of technology, because of trust. Partnership, that's the real bond." Dr. Kang laughed. "Pretty words, but your teams can't fight without the neural link." "Let's test that," June said. With a quick signal, Hope lunged at one of the Tereki guards. At the same moment, June threw a chair at the other one. All around the room, humans and dogs moved together in perfect coordination. Not with the precision of the Hope Protocol, but with the natural teamwork of partners who trusted each other completely. The Tereki guards were taken by surprise. One went down under Hope's attack. The other dodged the chair, but ran straight into Colonel Jin's fist. Dr. Kang backed away, his face pale. "It's not possible. The bond blockers block the artificial pathways," Hannah finished for him. "But not the natural bond that forms through trust and love." June looked at Dr. Kang with sadness. "That's what you never understood, teacher. Our strength isn't in our technology. It's in our connections." The alarms sounded. Outside, the Tereki forces were preparing to attack the base. "They'll kill us all," Dr. Kang warned. "Maybe," June agreed, "but we'll fight together." Colonel Jin quickly organized the defense. Human-dog teams spread out through the base. Without the artificial neural link, they couldn't share complex thoughts, but they could still work together through gestures, sounds, and the basic emotional bond they shared. The battle was hard. The Tereki were stronger and had better weapons. But they fought alone, each warrior thinking only of personal glory. The humans and dogs fought for each other. When a dog was in danger, its human partner would risk everything to help. When a human was cornered, their dog would create a distraction or attack. Slowly, the tide turned. The Tereki, confused by this unexpected resistance, began to pull back. Day and Luna fought side by side against 3 Tereki warriors. Their movements weren't as perfectly synchronized as before, but they protected each other with fierce determination. When the battle ended, the humans had held the base. The Tereki had retreated, taking Dr. Kang with them. "We won this fight," Colonel Jin said afterwards. "But the war isn't over." June nodded, scratching Hope's ears. "We need to find a way to improve our bond, not replace the natural connection, but strengthen it." Hannah was already working on it. "I have an idea," she said. "Instead of creating artificial pathways, what if we enhance the natural ones?" For the first time in days, June smiled. "That's it. We don't need to engineer our bonds. We just need to give them hope." 1 month later, The final battle began. The Terraki brought their main fleet to Earth. Thousands of ships filled the sky. Commander Krell's voice boomed across all communication channels. "Surrender now, or we will destroy your cities one by one." But Earth was ready. In the month since the last battle, Hana and Jun had created a new version of the Hope Protocol. Instead of building artificial neural pathways, it strengthened the natural bonds that already existed between humans and dogs. "It's time," Jun said, looking at the assembled teams. There were hundreds now, not just the original 30. Every available dog had been paired with a human partner. Their bonds weren't as strong as the original teams, but they had something the Terraki could never understand: trust and love. Sue Park had been busy too. She had traveled to other star systems, finding alien races who had also suffered under Terraki attacks. They sent ships to help defend Earth. The plan was simple but dangerous. While Earth's defenses held off the main Terraki fleet, a small group would board Commander Krell's flagship. Their goal was to reach the main control room and shut down the Terraki weapons. Dae and Luna led this group. With them were June and Hope, now fully recovered, and 3 other teams. They flew a small, fast ship that slipped past the Terraki defenses. "Remember," June told them as they docked with the flagship, "they won't expect us to still have our bond. That's our advantage." The inside of the Terraki ship was dark and strange. The walls looked like they were made of bone and metal mixed together. The air smelled like earth after rain. They met resistance immediately. Terraki warriors attacked from all sides. But the human dog teams fought with a smooth coordination that surprised their enemies. The bond blockers the Terraki used had no effect on their new natural connection. Slowly, fighting room by room, they made their way toward the control center. June used a small device Hana had given him to follow the ship's power lines. Finally, they reached a large door. Beyond it was the control center and Commander Krell. "Ready?" Dae asked Luna, his hand on her head. Through their bond, he felt her determination. She was ready. They burst through the door together. Inside, Commander Krell stood with Dr. Kang and several Terraki officers. Krell's yellow eyes widened in surprise. "How did you get past our blockers?" he demanded. "You can't block what's natural," Jun said. Krell snarled and leaped toward them, his claws extended. The other Terraki followed. The room erupted in fierce fighting. Dae and Luna faced Krell himself. The Terraki commander was the strongest, fastest warrior they had ever fought. His claws left deep cuts on Dae's arm. His teeth snapped inches from Luna's throat. But they worked together perfectly. When Krell focused on Dae, Luna would attack from behind. When he turned to Luna, Dae would strike. Finally, Dae managed to pin Krell against a control panel. Luna stood guard, her teeth bared. "It's over, Krell," Dae said. "Call off your attack." "Never," Krell snarled. "We are the superior species. We have made ourselves perfect." "Perfect alone," maybe Dae said. "But we're stronger together. That's what you never understood." Krell looked around the room. All his officers had been defeated by the human dog teams. Even Dr. Kang sat in a corner, his face showing his shock. "You engineered yourselves into perfect jackals," Dae continued. "We gave our companions hope, and they gave it back to us." With no choice left, Krell surrendered. He sent the order for all Terraki ships to stand down. 3 days later, June stood with Hope on a hill outside the city, watching the sunset. The Terraki fleet was leaving Earth's orbit. They had signed a peace treaty, agreeing to leave the solar system and never return. Sue Park joined them, smiling. "The other alien species are offering us membership in their alliance. They're impressed by what we achieved." "What happens to the Terraki now?" June asked. "They have a choice. Continue their old ways or learn from us. Some of their younger members seem interested in our way of life." As if on cue, a young Terraki child appeared, walking with a human family. In the child's arms was a small puppy, wagging its tail happily. "Will it work?" Jun wondered. Can they change? Hope pressed against his leg. Through their bond, Jun felt her simple answer. Anyone can change with the right companion to show them how. Day and Luna joined them on the hill. All around Earth, human-dog teams were now helping with rebuilding, healing, and exploring. Their special bond, once created for war, would now serve peace. What's next for us? Dai asked, looking up at the stars. Jun smiled. Exploration, not conquest. We'll go to the stars together, humans, dogs, and anyone else who wants to join us as equals.